What's up guys, MSD here, back with another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. I've been trying to make videos like this for quite a while, but I never had time to delegate some of my time to make them. But I have some spare time in this hectic schedule of mine, and I will be making the first of a few videos in a series that I don't know what I'm necessarily going to call it. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments, but essentially I will be trying to teach people how to use characters that you wouldn't necessarily use, how to use unique characters or master certain characters' abilities and skill sets, because I feel like there are a lot of champions in this game that are very, very overlooked, and if people saw them in a different way and saw how they were actually supposed to play them, maybe that would change the general public's opinion on those characters. And the first one of this series that I'm going to do in this video is Silver Surfer. So Silver Surfer, he's been out for about 6 months now. It's been 6 months since his initial release, and the general consensus about Silver Surfer has stayed basically the same. He's a prestige character. He's not useful for really anything else other than a few lanes in 6.4. And I can see people's arguments for that. It makes total sense. But the only problem with Silver Surfer is his playstyle was never really given out to us. We were never really given an example of how you're supposed to play him. And I know as the player we're supposed to figure that out, but we never even had a baseline. It was just he was kind of thrown at us. There was no developer breakdown. It was just kind of he's thrown at us and there we go. So I think that kind of left a bad taste in people's mouths, like, wow, okay, what do we do with this guy? How does he work? No one really explained it to us. So I feel like that's one of the reasons Silver Surfer got heavily overlooked. If it wasn't for his prestige, people would have just completely forgotten about him as a character. They would not have blinked an eye if he just got deleted from the game the next day. And that's kind of sad, because Silver Surfer is one of the most powerful characters in Marvel Comics. He was one of the most hyped up characters to ever enter this game, and I feel like Kabam kind of botched his entrance a little bit. But I don't think they botched it completely, because he is a good character. And that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to show you the most optimal way to play Silver Surfer for max efficiency, max damage output, and just relative ease of maintaining the playstyle. So in the following clips I'll go over his rotating buffs and why it's very important. If you have a keen eye, it's very important that his power gain buff only lasts 15 seconds. Why it's important to phase with his heavy attack, when to use the special 1, when to use the special 3, all that stuff. So in the following clips I will explain to you, or at least try my best to explain, how Silver Surfer works and how to use him efficiently. Alright guys, here is the first clip of the Silver Surfer guide and review. You'll notice the first thing I do when I enter the fight is throw off a heavy attack. That is what I found the best way to easily get your first buff, your first power gain. Throw heavy at the start of the fight. It's pretty easy. Next, you're going to want to wait for your rotating buff to reset. On Fury, throw off a special 1 and get 2 Fury buffs. That's going to give you max amount of damage in terms of just physical damage, and you'll start to see that that amount of energy damage slowly creep up. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to wait until your rotating buff resets and trigger the armor through the heavy. As you can see there, I was very cheeky. I phased through his entire special 2. And once you've done that, once you've gotten all 3 buffs up, you now build to a special 3, throw that off so you can gain your aptitude buff, which increases the potency of all your buffs by 25%, which is very nice. I wish it stacked, that would be awesome. But you've gotten your aptitude buff now, and it really just becomes a case of get to the special 2, reset the power gain buff once it expires, rinse and repeat. So you'll see here coming up that I am building to my special 2. My power gain buff had just fallen off, but I re-trigger it with my heavy attack, and that re-triggers all my buffs. Now Winter Soldier was playing pretty passive here, so the rotation was kind of skewed, but as you can see, I get off the special 2, I become unblockable, and I try to get the in right there, try to get him while he's standing up. That's a little risky sometimes. I don't necessarily recommend doing that, but if you think you can get it, especially if they have below 1 bar of power, I definitely say go for it. But as you can see there, we got the power gain buff once again refreshed, which refreshes every single one of my buffs. We go for the in again, but you shouldn't do that if he's above 1 bar of power. I don't really know what happened here, just missed a parry, but you know, what are you going to do? We throw off the heavy, and then we throw off the special 2 with the phasing buff active, which gives us a guaranteed in against Winter Soldier because he can't hit us while we're phasing. So that's awesome. That's really good. I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to go in a little more detail in the next clip, so I'll kind of break it down a little better in the following clip. Alrighty, so sorry for the clicking sounds, but here is the next clip. I have Realm of Legends Captain Marvel. So again, we're going to go with the same strategy as last time. Throw off a heavy at the start of the fight to get that very easy opening, to apply the first power gain buff to Silver Surfer, and to give us a little distance at the beginning of the fight. So we throw off the special 1, get the double fury. Now we need to wait for the power gain buff to reset, or the power cosmic to reset, so I can activate my armor and then go to a special 3, and then we can get really into the cycle. So I'm just waiting for her, or waiting for my power cosmic buff to get regained, and it finally does. I get to the special 3, I throw it off. This will give me my aptitude buff. And now we're really in the cycle. You can play it one of two ways. You can go all special 2, or you can just go special 3 and refresh all your buffs. Doesn't really matter, but special 2 is going to dish out the most damage. So right now we're just building up to a special 2. As you can see, we're hitting for over 6k mediums, which is very nice. We're almost at a special 2, and I'm trying to get there as quickly as possible. I do, and my power gain does not fall off. I get the in, she does not attack, so the stand-up intercept was a success. I refreshed the power gain with my heavy attack, and all my buffs have now been refreshed. And that's really it, guys. I don't know really what else to say. His cycle is very simple. As you can see, that was definitely over a 30k L2. His cycle is very simple. The heavy attack refresh is very safe because you're phasing. You won't get hit. You can phase through special attacks. And the damage output, as you can see, is super nice. It is on levels of maybe Captain Marvel movie, maybe a little less, but definitely on similar waters of Captain Marvel movie. So Silver Surfer, I've got one more video for you guys, the Vision matchup in Realm of Legends, and I feel like I've explained pretty well how Silver Surfer works in the last 2 matchups, so this is kind of just the wrap-up video. So I hope this guide brings more light to Silver Surfer. I'm not trying to say that Silver Surfer's the best character in the game or one of the best. I'm just saying that he was very overlooked at his release, and he is still overlooked to this day. People are not giving him enough credit. He's not the overhyped beyond god tier cosmic that we all wanted him to be, but he is a solid addition to this game in the cosmic class, and I feel like people need to kind of see that for themselves. So that's why I'm making this video, and I will be making similar videos to it with similar champions such as She-Hulk, so be on the lookout for that video. But the rotation is very simple. I will put something in the comments, just kind of the very basic breakdown, so if you just want to see it in writing, I will put it there. But it's actually a lot more simple than people think. At first I thought, oh man, this guy like has the weirdest playstyle ever. But having him for 6 months after release, he's been in the game for 6 months and doing all that testing, bring him to rank 5, not for prestige reasons. I feel like I've found the best strategy for damage output and buff sustainability. So that is all the time I have for this video. Thank you all so much for watching this Silver Surfer review and guide, and I hope to see you all in the next video.